Today I'd like to talk to you about enlisting in the United States military. Every year, thousands of young men and women from all across the country and from different walks of life enlist in the U.S. Armed Forces. Everybody who seeks to join does so for their own personal reasons, but no one reason is better than any other. All must go through the same long enlistment process before they are able to officially sign up. Many people may find this process tedious and some find it entirely overreaching. Some don't want to go through this entire process and quit before they can actually get into the training. I have a personal connection to this process as I went through it just a little bit over a year ago when I joined the Army National Guard. Although most people do not enjoy the long process to enlistment, most agree that in the long run it is worth it when they get to take advantage of the military and its benefits. I will share with you in this speech some personal experience in my own enlistment and all the hoops that I had to jump through and what anybody else would if they were to join. First, I'm going to go over the different options when choosing a service branch. There are 5 different branches in the U.S. Armed Forces. Each branch has at least 1, if not 2, reserve components. The first branch, and probably the most popular as it's the oldest and largest, is the Army. It has the reserve components of the Army Reserves and the Army National Guard, which is my branch. Then there's the Navy, who has the Navy Reserves as its reserve component. The Marine Corps has the Marine Corps Reserves. The Air Force has the Air Force Reserves and the Air National Guard. The Coast Guard has the Coast Guard Reserves. And according to Statistics.com, in 2017, the Army was the largest branch with 472,047 soldiers, followed by one of its reserve components, the Army National Guard, with 345,153 soldiers. New enlistees pick their branch of service and if they will go active or reserve based on many factors. Here are just a few of them. One big one, obviously, is their life goals. People who want to get out of their city or state for any various reasons may choose to go active as they want to see the world. People who want to stay near to home for family obligations or education may choose a reserve component. Another obvious big one is money. Some people just want a job and need to make money to support themselves and their family. The military also pays for many expensive things that usually people would have to pay for on their own, such as college. It has cheap health benefits, housing allowance, which is a big reason that a lot of people join. Another big reason is family. Many join to support their family, and the benefits that I stated above are a big reason for those who already have families to join. Last but not least is patriotism. Many people join for a love of their country and a desire to protect it. Now I will talk about picking the branch that is right for you. Those who join have to consider many different factors when picking their branch of service. Most people choose their branch of service based on their goals and career path that they want. The military is a good way to start a civilian career once you're able to get out. There are a wide variety of careers in all branches, but different branches are known for different things. Those interested in more STEM-related careers may be more inclined toward the Air Force or Navy, while those looking to get into careers that deal more directly with fighting and conflict may join the Army and Marine Corps. Certain branches definitely have certain stigmas. People often choose their branch and career on what job they can use with their military experience once they get out into the civilian world. For instance, those who want a career as an EMT or in the medical community may join as a combat medic. Those who want to pursue a career in a police force may be an MP or military police. To sum up, people usually choose their branch of service and their MOS or military occupational specialty on their life and career goals once they get out of the military. Now that we've learned about how to choose your specific branch of service, we will go over the enlistment process itself. As a disclaimer, all of my personal experiences that I will talk about have been with the Army National Guard, so there might be some slight differences when joining another branch, but for the main part, they are all the same. First off, after choosing which branch of the military best suits you and your goals, you need to contact a recruiter for that specific branch. The easiest way to contact a recruiter for your specific branch is to look online for the closest recruiting office in your area. Before you contact a recruiter, you need to consider your family goals and be realistic with what you want to do in the military. For instance, if you don't want to fight and you just want a career that can help you when you get out into the civilian world, don't join the infantry where you will most likely be sent to the front lines. Once you find your closest recruiting center, you should call or email to schedule a meeting with the recruiter, or you could simply show up at their office. When you go to your first meeting with a recruiter, a few things will happen. You'll be asked a lot of questions, usually pretty general stuff, such as your reason for wanting to join, the MOS you're interested in, or what is available. Your recruiter will inform you of the benefits that would come with enlistment in that specific branch and a general timeline of your enlistment. In this first meeting, you need to ask questions and get the facts about joining. Don't be pressured into something you don't want to do. After this first meeting, your recruiter will send you home with a lot of paperwork that you need to fill out and get back to him or her at your next meeting. This paperwork goes over many things such as your history, your family history, your medical history, and just about anything in your past that may be considered important. At your second meeting with the recruiter, he will most likely set a date for you to go to MEPS if you continue with the enlistment process. MEPS stands for Military Entrance Processing Station. You will go to the one that's closest to you, although it won't always be in your state. For instance, I live in northern Kentucky, so I went to the MEPS station in Louisville. MEPS is where all potential enlistees must go to see if they are physically and mentally fit enough to join the armed forces. Your recruiter will drive you to MEPS the night before. Your first night will simply entail checking into the hotel where you're staying and simple in processing. You will receive meal vouchers for that night and the next morning. The next morning, you will receive an early wake-up call, probably around 5 a.m. You will spend the entire day at MEPS. It's a very long day and includes many medical screenings such as blood draw, visual test, auditory test, and a full physical examination, breathalyzer test, and a urinalysis. You will undergo physical agility test as well. At the end of the day at MEPS, if you have passed all the tests, you will fill out a contract which includes your MOS, ship date to basic training, and bonus pay if it applies. How long your enlistment will last and many other things will also be gone over in your contract. Finally, at the end of the day, you will raise your right hand and swear into your chosen branch of the armed services. Up until this point, you are still under no legal obligation, and you should take that as your last chance to back out if you're not sure. Once you pass MEPS, you will then wait for your ship date to basic training or boot camp. Most new enlistees are pretty young, many still in high school when they enlist. According to Kim Parker at Pew Research, in 2015, 2/3 of active military personnel were 30 years or younger. This means that between many people's day at MEPS and their ship date, they could very well have to finish high school or college. Those in the active duty component will return to MEPS the day that they ship to basic training, while those in the National Guard or Reserves do not. So today we've learned about the aspects of joining the U.S. military. Joining the military could be a long or short process. Sometimes there's really no way of telling. There can be many headaches along the way, but it's almost always a good decision if it is thought out carefully. I hope that you enjoyed the speech and learned something new today.